Well, good evening. Hopefully, you can hear me. Got three people in so far. Just we'll give it a minute. Let hopefully let the room fill up. I know it's a little bit earlier than normal live streams, but we'll just give it a little minute. There's Bad Books. Good evening, Bad Books. Just me and thee at the moment. We'll see who else joins in a sec. There's a couple of others there, but no one's chatting. Just you, Bad Books. Just give people. It's a little bit earlier than I normally do this, but or what normally would want to do this, but I shall explain why in a minute. Yeah, I've had a very good day, and I won't talk too much about why because we'll save that for when there's some more people in. But yeah, I've had a good day, successful work, successful with cars, which is always good. Apart from car insurance, I'll come back to that in a minute. Car insurance. Ugh. Beginning to fill up. So do announce yourself when you're in. Say hello. I will say hello back. I'm quite friendly, really. So tell me what's happened in your day, Bad Books. What's been going on? Good evening, Pingu. The beard is bushy. It's bigger than it used to be, but it's not as big as some. But size surely doesn't matter. How are you, Pingu? How's your day been? Beginning to fill up. Beginning to fill up. Do announce yourself when you come in. Say hello, and then we'll plow in. I'm feeling very healthy again because I've once again had a salad for dinner, which is unlike me. Normally, I'm a gravy and mash kind of person, but I thought no, I've got to try and get on top of this paunch, or not on top of it, but get it reduced. Um, and it was a very nice salad. Pingu has been clearing rubbish from his dad's garage, so feeling a bit grubby and knackered. Grubby and knackered, yeah, that's well, I'm sure a shower and a beer can sort that out, but hopefully you feel like you've achieved something, which is it's nice when you clear something. I did a bit of clearing myself actually earlier. It's quite a satisfying feeling. So I'm planning on waffling on for about an hour and 10 minutes. Um, because Project Nigel has his live stream at 10 o'clock. So we'll try and get done by about 9:45 so that people can uh, have put their kettles on or fill their beer glass up or whatever they're going to do if they are joining Project Nigel's. So but yeah, Project Nigel's live at 10 o'clock. But so Bad Books, colleagues lacking communication. Communicate poor communication is just shite, isn't it? Yeah, it's yeah. Austin Carter Fell. Hello, Austin Carter Fell. How are you? Good evening. Welcome. Just gonna have a quick slurp of wine. Mm. Pingu managed to clear enough rubbish out to fit my 216 inside the garage. So objective achieved. Well done, sir. Well done indeed. A garage. Imagine having one of those. Cool. Oh, that's an interesting. Yeah, so car. I'm trying to get something insured. Yeah, and I think that could be the problem. Bad Books is saying that unfortunately, classic insurance is no good, no go for you guys who keep your cars on the street. That's a good point. I've got a classic policy on the 260 and the BRM, and they are both listed as being on the street. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they're I don't know, so special that it's allowed. Who knows? Yeah, but actually, I know. So I'm yeah hoping to buy a TF on Friday, which will be a video, no doubt, over the weekend. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to get it insured. And actually, the best I've had so far is on compare the market, couple of £100. So that's nearly the price of a classic policy. So yeah, just waiting for Adrian Flux to ring me back tomorrow. They reckon they might be able to sort something out. Pingu asks, "Have I had any serious interest in your 216?" No, is the short answer to that. I've had a couple of people doing exactly what I don't want them to do in the advert. So I don't know. This is a new thing. I've never experienced this. So I've agreed a sale on the Micro today. Advertised the 216 over over last weekend. I think Sunday I did that, and just keep getting these messages, especially on Facebook Marketplace, which is something I'm probably not going to use ever again to try and sell a car. But people just message going, What is your best price?" I just don't get it. For me, you either have a conversation and make an offer, negotiate, um, or you come and see the car, and then decide whether you want to buy it or not. But it just seems now people just look at the pictures and go, "What's your best price?" Um, yeah, so I've had a few of those on the 216 Pingu. Yeah, it's not even a week in yet, so we'll let things warm up. I'm guessing there'll be more interest in older cars once we sort of really get into show season in the next few weeks. I'm guessing 'cause the Micro is a hard shift, although the Micro is a bit of a special. Bad Book says that's good for BRM bargain 200 on MGF. He's been insured with RH specialist many years, excellent service. RH is that the name of the company? Project MGTF, Simon. Bonsoir, good afternoon, good evening. Word up, mofos. God, yeah, that's so street, Simon. It's unreal. Um, yeah, Bad Books. I agree. What's your best price means time wasters. Yeah, I ended up messaging these guys back. I think I had two messages on the 216, and I just said, it's a modern classic car. Read the listing. Fuck off, basically, is what I said. Pinky says might do better on an eBay classified ad. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I've actually put the 216 on Car and Classic, which I've not used before. I don't think. That just seems a slightly nicer website. So we'll give that a go. We'll give that a go. But yeah, eBay. That's how I got rid of the Micro. To be fair, but RH is the company, Essex based, I believe. I'm going to make a note of that because I'm never sure if this chat replay actually does anything. Simon says, Project MGCS says, eBay has your trousers down on bidding ads these days. Um, yeah, I think you can list for free, can't you? And then you get it absolutely rogered on the final sale price. I was a little bit naughty actually with the micro. I listed it as a Yan Speed exhaust with a car attached, and that seemed to work. So um, yeah, but yeah, probably I'm probably going to get the eBay police. They're probably monitoring this conversation, even though they're not part of Google. But yeah, they'll probably be coming around to pull my trousers down and yeah. Simon sold. So I've got my contacts in today, so I'm having to put reading glasses on to read stuff. Simon sold two guitars, and the fees were huge. Were they expensive guitars, Simon, or were they actually reasonably priced and just astronomical fees? Pingu's previous 216 sold quite quickly from eBay to a guy who buys cars for Netflix. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, 90s drama. You get a 216 knack, couldn't you? I know I watched. I was watching a couple of those uh, ITV series from the 80s that Boaty put up on his channel. Oh, I think he started putting them up last week. And yeah, there was some car porn in there for me, definitely. Yeah, I do like watching some old, I do like it when you get a good spot in a TV program. Uh, Simon sold reasonably priced guitars 200 and 250. So I'd be interested to know what you actually got charged for selling those. Because yeah, I'm a bit out of touch with eBay. I try not to use it to sell anything. I do use it uh, almost on a daily basis to buy stuff, especially Philips stroke Rover radios with the wrong connection, which I'm doing really badly at the moment. So yeah, the 216 might have to have a Sony CD player in it. Good God, how terrible! Yes. So I shall wait for a few more. I'm thinking. So I've got to thank Simon from Project MHF because I've actually taken his slot, as it were. Um, Thank you for letting me take your slot, Simon. Yeah. So yeah, Simon did his live stream last night, and because I can't do tomorrow, which Wednesday is 9 o'clock to be my kind of regular time. We agreed between ourselves that I would do tonight. So thank you, Simon, for letting me fill in here. Like I'm like Project Nigel's fluffer, aren't I? Bad Book says great cars on Chance in a Million. Yeah. Takes you right back to the 80s streetcars. It's yeah, nice skirt as well. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't remember I mean, I was quite young when that first came on. So I didn't even know it was a program until Boaty uploaded them the other day. Um, so yeah, yeah, they're quite good. They're quite good viewing. I'm quite a big fan of The Crown as well. I'm not saying I'm a raging monarchist, but I think The Crown's a really good, well-made program, and that you do get some nice, albeit upper end cars and that, of course, being centered around the royal family and the prime minister. But yeah, some nice, I think some nice P5s in the earlier editions. Sorry to make you uncomfortable, Simon, but one does these things for YouTube, I guess. And if ever you want to take my slot, then be my guest. Um, yeah. So more slot jokes. Yeah, Chance of Millions. How old would I have been when that came? I'd have been sort of 5 or 6 probably. So yeah, I don't. My parents would not let me watch it, even if I was able to. Hashtag slot talk. Yeah, it's a new thing. It's gonna be all over Twitter. Um, Pingu says, I had a list on eBay using the 80% off seller fees days every 2 weeks or so. Usually have around 200 to 300 buy it now auctions running consistently. Goodness me, that sounds like a lot of admin, Pingu. But that's yeah, I'll have to look out for that next time I do want to list something 80% off. That would I imagine make life a little more comfortable. So, well, we're still only six people in, and not everyone's chatting, which is fine. You can just watch. I don't mind people just lurking, and I'll see if we get a few more, and then I'll start talking about my MGZT 260 because I'm quite excited about that. Pingu Simon says Pingu is the owner of cars, seller of items. Yes, yes, I'm aware that the Pingu does have some good parts there. Pingu, your parts are magnificent. Um, Bad books. I've got 9 years. You've got 9 years on me. So you oh right, okay. So you're little older than me, but still young, obviously. Project MGTS asks any news on the 260. Yes, but I will save that for a little bit later, just because I want a few more people to be on. Maybe including a couple of people who actually had their hands on the car. So um, Pingu says, yeah, make selling worthwhile. Yeah, 80% off anything. That's got to be a bloody good thing. So um, you'll notice this week I actually have a proper wine glass. I managed to find them in the back of the cupboard. When we have wine, normally we use little kind of French style glasses like that. So I thought, given that I'm drinking Sauvignon Blanc in public, uh, better do it in a wine glass. I'm just gonna have a little sip. It's very nice. Um, so yeah, so okay, well, let's talk about the 260. Let's talk about it. So yeah, so I bought the car in April last year for a very reasonable price, and I bought it knowing that it had a hunting idle, misfire, and just running really uh, rough and lumpy and horrible. Um, and I took it to my friends at my local MG Rover specialist, who are a bloody good garage, I have to say. And I've not pressurized them because we've had the 190 in and out, we've had the BRM in and out, and I'm just not the kind of person that pressurizes people unless it's a matter of life and death. And obviously, a gas guzzling car isn't a matter of life and death. Um, but yeah, they've worked through various things. Hoses, there were a lot of split hoses on the PCV or PCVs. I think there's more than one ventilation on those engines. I need to get in there and have a proper look myself to sort of learn it. But yeah, so last week I've done coils, plugs, hoses, plugged into T4. T4 wasn't saying anything. And last week the guys put a new mass airflow sensor on, and it apparently I wasn't there for this, but it ran perfectly. Then it went a bit poppy and missy again, and I just think something was clearing through, and yeah, eventually it just suddenly ran right. The emissions are okay on the MOT. A couple of bits, track rod end, which you've probably seen in my video, so I'm just repeating myself, but what the hell, I'm doing it anyway. Track rod end, brake hose, few bulbs. I think the circuit board for the rear number plate lights was frazzled as well. But yeah, it did sound very nice. It is sounding very nice. Um, and hopefully it's going to get an MOT this week, which means I'll be taking it to Pride of Longbridge and I'll be driving it around quite a lot and spending a lot of money on fuel before then as well. So yeah, Simon, I've given because you're popping off. Um, I'm glad that this is only me talking. Otherwise, would hear you popping off. But your friend streaming is streaming the film Brain Dead. Oh, okay, very nice, very nice. Um, my wine glass is classy compared to yours. I can't see your wine glass, to be honest, in your videos, because in your lives, because you have this dark atmospheric lighting in yours. So Ujuj, greetings, Rob of the YouTube. Ujuj, greetings to you too. Um, Simon, Bad Book says Simon Braindead must be based on my work head office. I think that, yeah, that you've got to think about that today. Bad Books, definitely. Stephen S. Paul, good evening. Good evening. Hello. From a non-bearded individual, we welcome people of all types. Pingu may be getting the 205 tomorrow, depending on my transporter guys working or not. Ooh, I think you shared a picture of that somewhere. Yes, I'll be very excited to see how that comes along, because I do like a little pug 205. Uh, yes, Simon, yay for POL for the 260. Austin Carter Fell says, just need your tyres to arrive for them wheels. And the reason Austin Carter Fell says that is because Austin Carter Fell is a MG Rover specialist mechanic who has had his hands all over my beasts. And by that, I mean my 190, 260 and BRM. Austin is a phenomenal mechanic. And today, the wheel refurb place actually got the Apexes back to me, and they looked amazing. Yeah, so Austin is waiting for some tyres, which hopefully turn up at some point this week. They can go on the car as well, and it's going to look really nice. And the other bit of good news I had yesterday is that Zero exhausts are going later this year. Are going to start making a full stainless steel system for 260s, which is absolutely bloody fantastic, because the exhaust on my 260 is a Walter Mitty ramshackle affair of different girths of pipe, going in, feeding into very cheap back boxes. So Austin, well done, and welcome to my live stream. This is only my second one, so this is quite a small one. But we don't judge on size at Beards and Bangers. Simon's going to post a picture of his wine glass. Well, we're going to start comparing wine glasses as well as beards. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing that. Simone from Hooked on Classics, good evening. She says, hello, beardy man. Hello, Simone. How are you? How's your day been? Bad Books has a goatee beard, rather inconsequential compared to the big beard boys. You're saying, yeah, you're comparing mine to Simon and Paul's. Nah, mine's bum flop in comparison to those. But yeah, I do go goatee occasionally, and that doesn't mean that I start eating hats and bedding and stuff like that. Simon challenges Austin to do a review, to do a kiss and tell, and tell us what the 260 is really like. We'll let Austin answer that. Simone is addressing all of us by our facial hair status, which is fine, because this channel is about beards as well as bangers. Although we haven't done any kind of barbershop inside information videos yet, which I probably won't do, because that would be quite weird. And then Simon greets Simone before he will depart in about 7 minutes time. So yeah, so Pingu's getting the 20, maybe getting the 205. I may be getting a TF on Friday, which I'm quite looking forward to. Even if I don't buy it, even if I can walk away, I quite like train journeys. I don't like trains. I'm not really a train person, but I just like train journeys. It's just a really nice way to travel. Yeah, I've probably spent quite a lot on train. I've probably spent fair amount of train fares in the last few months doing various car collection capers. But yeah, Friday could be a collection caper, or it could be a collection calamity. But I shall look forward to showing you this new acquisition of mine. Yes, I'm gonna try and get the fleet down to about 3 or 4. 4, let's say 4 in the next few months. So that'll be, yeah, the BRM, the 2 ZTs, uh, the new TF. Austin reveals all. Ha ha. 260 isn't too bad now. Just needs a little touches to make it perfect. Yeah. So in the next 12 months, I will get a new exhaust. So as soon as Zero, I can't remember the guy's name at Zero, but he's very nice. He's down. He's down Pingu's way. I think he's in Kent. Yeah, I spoke to him, was it yesterday, and he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna." He's actually got a ZT 260 there with a stock exhaust on it, and he's gonna basically make a jig and a pattern based on that, which is gonna be awesome. Yeah, but that does need a new exhaust, and then it needs a bit of cell welding, bit of sill welding in at some point. It needs there's a bit of lacquer peel on the offside front wing, which that should be quite a quick fix. I may try and do that before Pride of Longbridge. Someone has stuck some. It's not even fake wood. It's just like stickers with a wood pattern on it. It is utterly crap. I've never seen anything quite so hideous. Well, I have, but yeah. So that I'll be peeling that off and cleaning that up. But yeah, so thank you, Austin, for your work on that. It's when I did my live stream last Wednesday, did not think um, I did not think I'd be taking that car to Pride of Longbridge. I thought we'd be maybe the 190, maybe the 216, but yeah, I shall be uh, burbling up the M40 uh, in what 3.5 weeks time. Um, Stephen S. Paul says train journeys can be pretty cool. I agree, and that, if you get the right train as well, they are bloody quick as well. What did I do? I did King's Cross to York just before Christmas in under 2 hours. It was incredible. Simon says at Austin, he can't wait to see it. Simon, you will see 194 really soon. Simone has been rather busy today. She bought a spare alternator belt for the Cortina, and while she's on the way, a spark plug wire popped off. Ah, yeah, that's what happened with me in the 216. Actually, yeah, the engine just goes because it's running on the engine goes off balance. So hopefully you can tell us, have you managed to fix it already, or is it you're gonna have to buy new cables? So Austin Carterfell says it will look good. The 260 will look great when it's done. I certainly hope so, and you may have a hand in that, young sir. Bad Book asks Simone, is your Cortina fully prepped for the NEC? Is that this week? I think it might be. Do tell us, Simone. I've just spotted at the bottom. I'm not going. I am going off. But Simon's off. Simon, thank you, and again, thank you for you letting me use your slot. It's always appreciated. We'll have to plan what happens next week, but enjoy your live stream. Enjoy your live stream of Brain Dead, Simon. I'll speak to you soon, mate. Uh, Simon says bad books as best I can. So hopefully, yeah, you're nice and prepped as best you can. Austin is more excited for the work on the 190 rather than the 260, but the 260 is a cool thing to say. Yeah, the 190 is shaping up really nicely. And yeah, the new headlining's in, which Austin did. Thank you. And we're just waiting on I think we're still waiting on the airbag light to go out, which I think the module's being sent off to a specialist to be remodularized or whatever happens to modules. Simone wrote that before I saw your comment, the little tinker. Okay. Simone asked, if the car is shaking over 60, could that be the wheel alignment? Yeah, somewhat. There's more technical people in this chat than me, so maybe someone else would like to answer Simone's question. But could be the balancing, but I'll let other people pitch in with that. Um, Pingu asked, "Any joy with the Rover Radio? My audio friend has not replied yet." Well, thank you for asking, Pingu. Yeah, no. So I bought two Philips. I actually bought the correct radio for the T16, which is a Philips R570. I probably got that completely wrong. But what I think has happened is someone's um, spliced in ISO blocks into the 216. They probably had like a modern CD player in there at some point. Um, so yeah, I just cannot. For what I need is a connector that goes in the back of the Philips radio, which seems to be. I've got two of those Philips radios. And it's the same block on the back, so it's that whatever that block is going to ISO females, but trying to find one of those just doesn't exist. You search any other combination on Google and you get results, but Philips, the old Philips radios to the ISO, nah. So I might have to get it. I might have to do a bit of a soldering job myself, or put a non-period radio in it, which I didn't really want to do to sell it. I really want to sell it with a period radio. I think that'd be a bit nicer. But yeah, thank you for asking your audio friend. If he does get back to you, then please drop me a message through the old Facebook. Um, Both Pingu and Austin answer Simone's question about the vibrations above 60 miles an hour. Could be wheel. So Pingu says wheel balance. Austin also says could be wheel balancing or state of tires. Um, Bad Books replies Simone, weird. It's just started shaking. Are all the wheel nuts tight and tire pressure okay? So yeah, I think wheels seem to be the theme. Simone replies though, two new tires on the back and two part one on the front recently fitted. Um, but it was shaking before. Hmm. Which car is this, Simone? Is this TC the Cortina? Apologies if I missed. Apologies if I missed a little comment a little bit further up. Um, while I let you guys type something, I'm just going to have another quick soup song of wine, which is delightfully cold. Um, I do like New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. It is bloody lovely. I haven't got any much else car related to talk about, unless you guys have got questions for me this evening. But yeah, the 190, I'm really looking forward to getting that back at some point because that's Austin's done a cracking job uh, putting that car right. I just forget what a state it was in when I got it from. I nursed it back from Nottinghamshire last June. I think it was late June last year. And that was definitely vibrating from the front wheels. There was so much wrong with it. Um, so it was. It is the Cortina. So it's the Cortina. Not yeah. I'd start with balancing personally. I know. Going back to my 190, I know that was vibrating above 60 with the old hideous alloys on, and I think that was down to balance. That was purely down to not just balancing, but also the weight of the wheel, and also my air. I know we're going off onto more modern cars, Simone, but the ABS light kept coming on, and I think that's because the wheels were so light. These 5-spoke nasties were so light, the car didn't realise it had them on. And since I've had the 11s put on the 190, it just driven it. It sits on the road better. It handles better. The vibration's gone. Um, because they are the correct weight wheels for the car and have been properly balanced. So um, yeah, so yeah, they've just been changed. As Bad Book says, they should be balanced. The Bad Books had tires and the rears weren't balanced and caused vibration rather than shaking. And Simone's got 1 day left to sort this. I'm guessing the NEC restoration show starting on Thursday, from what you just said. Pingu asks me, do I want to swap my BRM for a 205? If it's a 1.9 GTI, then yeah. Um, I do like those. Um, Yeah, I do like a I've had a couple of Peugeots actually, but 306 and a 308. Um, they're both really good cars, actually. One petrol, one diesel. Look at me saying I had a diesel I liked. That's very rare. Ping on. It's a 1 litre Trio Special Edition. No, in that case, no. Um, Yeah, no, if I saw a 1.9, a beastie, I'm sure it will be when you finish with it. Yeah, I had really good intentions today of actually doing some work on the 216. It's not work like major work, but it's just a couple of bits that need tidying up. And I got home and I was just a bit procrastinating. I'm still a little bit coldy, but not too bad. Um, yeah, but yeah, I need to get my sleeves back rolled up again. But I'm hoping maybe next week there'll be some footage of me actually driving the 260, um, which would be quite good. Uh, yeah, Simone's gonna have to get the car checked tomorrow. I hope it's not too expensive as well, Simone. Yeah, NEC starts Thursday for display, so yeah, you got to get it in there, I guess, and get set up. Goodness, is that running over the weekend as well? Pingu says probably put a 306 GTI 2 litre engine. That would make it a bit fruitier, wouldn't it? Cool. Um, yeah, it's amazing it's just amazing what some car prices. I know I had an Escort, a Ford Escort XR3i when I was about 2021, and it was like a 500 quid car or something like that, and it was a decent car. There's nothing wrong with it. Um, and you try and find one of those now for anything under 5 grand, you're doing well, I think. Yeah, we'll have a proper go on car prices at some point because yeah, some of them got P6. I sold my P6 for 2.5 grand or 2.5 or 3 grand in 2008, 2010. So I can't remember what it was. It's around then. And yeah, the price of those now it's good. It's good. Um, Thursday, Sunday, I might try and get up there. Obviously, I've got to be a little bit mindful of time out of the house with my collection caper on Friday. But yeah, it might be. I might try and get up there. Um, Simone BB says, Simone, all you need, and fingers crossed for you. At least you are taking Sheldon. Yeah. Uh, Pingu asks, how much was my BRM? It was under 3 grand, but I can't remember exactly what I paid for it now. Two and a half, something like that. Yeah, BRM update is that it's currently it has got no boot, no bonnet, no bumpers. And this is actually there's some of you people might be able to help here. I need to get some new panels made for it. So inner panels. Uh, so I need to try and find the patterns for a Rover R3. So there's a couple of guys on eBay who make panels for cars. One actually, Austin got some panels for the 190 for my 190, and one of his cars from a guy. So this one guy makes parts for Rover R40 shapes, so 75s and ZTs, and the other guy makes BRM parts. And I think the guy who makes BRM parts only makes certain bits, but the guy who makes the 190 parts, I had a sort of email conversation with him a few weeks ago, and he's saying he can make any panel for any car so long as he's got a pattern. So if anyone knows where you can get a pattern for the Rover R3, i.e., 225 ZR, please do let me know. And if you don't want to let me know in the chat here, just ping me a message through Facebook. Um, Simone is uploading a film now, so if you want to see it, 30 minutes or so until it premieres. If any of my subscribers aren't Simone's, then Simone's channel is Hooked on Classics, as it says here, and I will certainly be checking that out myself. I've got quite a few videos to catch up on actually. Um, I've not been able to view. What do we think of these live stream times, guys? I think I mean my regular slot. Oh, here we go, slots again. Um, my regular slot's gonna be 9 o'clock on a Wednesday. It's just that we had a bit of a swap around this week, me and Simon. But I'm conscious, obviously, that Paul from Project Nigel does his what twice a week. Obviously, Boaty does his far too late in the day for me to worry about. Um, uh, but yeah, what do we think? 9 o'clock Wednesday is good. I mean, we're doing this 8:30 on a Tuesday. It seems a little bit quieter than last week. Maybe people are a bit live streamed out. I don't know, but yeah, do be honest. I like honest feedback. Um, Bad Book says Daft over panel patterns. Have you tried the Gade and Car Museum? That is a bloody good shout. I shall write that down because I do have a habit of forgetting brilliant ideas. Thank you, Bad Books. The British Motor Museum, which is probably my work. I've got a video on my YouTube channel. Actually, I think I uploaded it when I had COVID last year because obviously I wasn't making content for the 10 days I was testing positive, and I had some clips on my phone. Thought I'm going to edit these into a really, really bad video, and I had the phone the right way up, but it basically meant all the videos were in uh, portrait. So there's a really bad video on my channel, and I'm kind of sounding like full of cola. This is the protein. Okay, yeah. So anyway, you get the idea. So it's definitely my worst video on my maybe the one I was when I was singing. Maybe that was worse actually. But that was just a bit of fun. But yeah, um, live stream time. So Wednesday 9 o'clock. We'll stick with that unless Simon and I do some slot shifting or swapping as we did this week. Um, yeah. Pingy asked, does anyone have a steering rack for an MGZT? I don't. I don't know if Austin is still on the stream. He's definitely worth asking. Yeah, I can ask him for you. Steering rack. I make notes of things because I just forget for a ZT. Yeah, these parts are all out there. Someone I just noticed on Facebook before I came on here that there's a scrapyard near Hitchin in Hertfordshire, which is actually where my ZTT came from. Not from the scrapyard, um, uh, from someone nearby there. But there's just full of 75s, 25s, 45s, everything. I have got there and pay a visit. So yeah, there's a scrapyard near Hitchin with loads of MG Rover stuff. So that could be worth an ask. I will ask around Pingu. I will ask around. Bad Books. Oh, Bad Book, is that for Boaty's car? So he did the steering rack, did he? So I did offer to send him some wheels, but I think he hasn't got back to me to say he needs them. He was sort of waiting to see what Paul's kind of prognosis was. And I think I've watched that video, but maybe not all the way through. I've got loads in my list to catch up on. So, but blimey, he really must have smacked it to if he's damaged, or presumably he's bent the steering rack and half the suspension components. Poor Boaty. But the Freelander looks nice. The Freelander does look nice, I have to say. I'm not going to be getting one of those. I don't need a Freelander. The TF I'm getting for me because this car needs no work. The TF is for me to enjoy, and I'll let you guys enjoy it as well. But yeah, I know what car I'm going to be driving for quite a lot in the next few months, and that's going to be the 260, especially while fuel's a bit cheaper. Um, yeah, I really can't. I don't know who's coming to POL, but hope to meet a lot of you there. Those who are coming, and you can see my TC. It's still very much a work in progress. Say it's still very much a work in progress. Still needs a few bits doing to it, but um, I was determined to save that car because it was um, so good, or too good. The body was too good. Um, but yeah, we got the worst bit done now with the running. So Pingu has sourced some wheels and tires. That's good. Yeah, but everyone needs a good rack. That is, it's so important. If you haven't got a good rack in life, then what have you got? So, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's good. This is the car community kicking into action again, isn't it? It's yeah, getting that car, keeping that car on the road, helping both to get it back on the car is really important. Uh, right, so yeah, 9 o'clock Wednesdays. We're going to go for that. Boaty doesn't like a rack too large. Yeah, and Simone says nice rack. Haha. Yeah, we've got to help Pingu find one now. So yeah, I will. I think Austin's probably left, so I will ask him because they might have one up there. They've got a fair few bits and bobs. And I'm going to try and find this scrapyard in Hitching because it looks quite interesting. And it's not close to me, but it's not millions of miles from me. Hitching in North Hertfordshire, I think. Yeah, I will inquire of that. And there's a good scrappy actually in Bicester near me. Um, and they've got loads of parts for loads of different cars. So I'll probably be driving past there tomorrow evening on my way to Swindon. So I shall pop in there and see if they've got a steering rack. Well, I think we're probably a little bit running out of steam tonight, so I'm going to cut it short. I think 50 minutes is quite enough. We've had a nice chat. We've we've had some updates. If anyone's got anything burning they want to mention now, then please do. But I shall reappear live at 9 o'clock next Wednesday. Um, you will see me on YouTube next over the weekend. I'm not going to do a live with my collection caper because uh, I just want to get home, to be honest. But you'll see a video on the new TF. Um, Pingu asks me though. Pingu, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. No, I'm not in a rush. So Pingu asks, "How's my rocket cover gasket on the 216?" Seems to be holding up all right. I think there's some residual oil that's sort of dripped onto the exhaust, or has been dripping onto the exhaust some time that's now burnt off. I think there's a bit of smoke when I started it up and drove it the other day, but that seems to have gone now. So yeah, the HT lead that was getting oily and sort of losing the vacuum to keep it in. That's staying in place now. They're really good engines, the Honda D series. I didn't realise how. Have I had a car with a Honda D series engine in before? I don't know if I have. They're perky little units. This is just the single cam one, and it's a strong, perky little motor. Yeah, it's I say that car's done its job. I wanted to make sure it was kept on the road, and I've managed to do that fairly economically. And I don't think I'm being greedy, asking what I'm asking for it. So yeah, no, that seems to be working now. So I've got to just get a radio in it. I've got to get the lower end of the seatbelt put on, and get a fresh IoT, which I think should be okay. It seems pretty solid. Obviously, you never know with a 27-year-old car. You never know what's going to come up on the MOT. But I have committed in my listing on Car and Classic um, to stick a fresh MOT on it, which I will do because I'm that kind of guy. Yeah, but no, it's a good car. I'll be sorry to see it go. But I didn't buy it as a long-term thing. It was just a buy to keep on the road and make sure that it survives because it's a decent car. Um, so it doesn't sell, I'll probably just get that little the wood veneer on the dash off and re-lacquer that. That's probably ought to be done, but I've never done that, so it's not something I want to attempt in a hurry. That's for sure. Well, thank you all. Oh, bad books. I'll stop for a while. I'll just sit here. I'll just sit here and just talking only. Bad books had an E-Reg Honda Integra 1.5. Don't know what engine it was. With 250,000 miles, rotten body but great engine. Yeah, um, yeah. I think an unloved Rover 200 with the Honda engines would go the same way. But yeah, this one's done 146,000 miles, and it's yeah, the engine's tight still. Yeah, it's good. Pingu asks, "Am I going to play us a tune on the guitar?" Not tonight. No, I haven't picked up that guitar for a couple of years. I have to admit. Um, and yeah, I just don't seem to make any time for music anymore, which is bad because I do enjoy making music. Um, and I might actually, yeah, well, I need to tune it for a start, but I might get it off the wall, tune it, have a bit of a practice, and do some strumming. I know Simon likes his sound effects on his live streams. I know Boaty has his rather catchy theme tune to his. So maybe I could have a theme tune that I strum myself, and try not to do in a Little Britain style, because that would be just embarrassing, um, and inappropriate. To be quite honest with you. Um, but yeah, I've got to you guys have got to think of me tomorrow. I'm staying in Swindon tomorrow night, so I'm going to take my life in my hands. No, it's actually quite nice where we stay. I did promise to show you my pussy this week, but I don't know where my pussy is. He's disappeared. Is he in the lounge? Let's have a look. No, there's no Louis around to show you. So hopefully next week's live stream there will be a little Louis that I can show you because we had a lovely chat about it. Oh yes, Mrs. Slocum. Mrs. Slocum. Oh, whenever I look at my cat, I think of her. Could be the front of a humorous birthday card, couldn't it? Yes, Mrs. Slocum. That was a cracking program, wasn't it? Yeah, it's. I'm not a massive TV watcher, but I do like watching the old comedies. And my son is an absolute. He's an absolute dad's army fanatic. I know where my cat is because my neighbour's dog is barking, which means he's sitting on the fence, looking down at my neighbour's dog, going in cat basically. Which yeah, and my neighbour who occasionally feeds the cat when we're not here, obviously smells of that dog, and he will bite her. My cat will bite my neighbour because he detests the smell of that dog quite clearly. Slurp. My cat's a very naughty one because he's been sitting on my. He tried to actually get on my dinner plate earlier on the dining table. I kept picking him off because I was having fish. I was having fish again, and the cat was continually jumping up trying to get my fish off my plate, which is very naughty. Yes, Pingu, Louis is definitely part of the cocky cat brigade. Can't hunt for toffee, thick as two short planks, but he's definitely a cocky cat, even though he's been neutered, which means he's not that cocky. But, yeah. So, has anyone else got anything they want to ask me? Because I'm quite at your leisure. If you haven't, and if I try and wrap up, someone's going to ask me something, aren't they? No. So please, if you haven't already done so, please hit that like button. Please share. I don't know how many people. Oh, I can probably find out, but I'm sure some people watch these back afterwards. Oh, here we go. Quick question: chocolate or cheese? Simone, cheese every day. And I might even have some in a minute actually, because I've got some Comte in the fridge, which and some nice grapes and some walnuts. So I might have a quick, even though you're not supposed to eat cheese before bed, but I I I like to live dangerously by eating cheese just before bed. Bad Books thanks me. I thank you, Bad Books. I thank all of you. Thank you for participating. Uh, Pingu, thank you, and yeah, see you all soon. I will Pingu. I will look out for a steering rack. I will try 2 or 3 places that I know, and see if we can get a steering rack up to Boaty. Simone, cheese helps her sleep. Yeah, I've never had a bad experience eating cheese before bed. I think it's an old wives' tale. Um, Bad Books, thank you for RH Insurance. I shall look them up tomorrow and see if they will beat compare the market. Oh, Paul, just as I'm wrapping up, Paul, hello. I'm Series. Don't do that. I don't know how you promote these live streams any better. So I'm just Simone needs a roof rack. Is that for your Cortina? Do you need it urgently if you're going to the NEC? Don't worry, Paul. It's absolutely fine. Stephen S. Paul, good night, all. Paul, next week, I think I've nicked Simon's slot. We did a huge, huge smut fest about swapping, me and Simon swapping slots. But next week, I'll be what I hope will be my usual time of 9 o'clock on a Wednesday. So this is a bit of an inadvertent, but very nice to hear from you, Paul, even at the last minute. Simone needs a Cortina roof rack. I'll go and see this Scrappy up the road from me tomorrow afternoon and see what they've got, because yeah, it'd be good to get a steering rack up to Boaty, and be good to get a roof rack over to you. But anyway, thank you so much. If you haven't done so, hit the like button. Please share, whichever button that is. I get ever so confused if I don't communicate with any of you on Facebook in the next few days. I'll see you on next Wednesday's live stream, but you'll see a video from me, at least one video from me over the weekend, with a collection caper and possibly some V8 burbling. I hope. Cheers all. Good night.